GK's Vinyl Life. I'm your host, Anthony K. And on this episode, I'm doing my last tag episode of the new year. Yes, it's that time again when at the beginning of every year, there's a whole bunch of vinyl tag and music tag videos that come out to celebrate the new year. And this is my fourth tag video, actually. Which is 3 more than I normally do. Normally I do the vinyl tag every year, the granddaddy of them all, the vinyl tag. I do that every year, but this year I decided to jump on a few. And I've also done the Beatles tag, which Rachel's Ghost started, and the prog tag that Beer and Vinyl started. The prog tag will be linked at the end of this video, as I just dropped that earlier in the week. Just a few days ago I dropped the prog tag. And I'm going to do the metal tag now. That's right, the metal tag. It's the last tag I'm going to do because I'm getting kind of tagged out now. And the link to the original metal tag, heavy metal tag, will be in the description of my video down below. So make sure you head on over there and check out the questions if you want to do the metal tag. There's been quite a few responses to the metal tag, just as there's been to the prog tag, the Beatles tag, the vinyl tag, and there's punk tags out there and soul tags. But I'm getting off the tag. I'm getting off the tag train with this tag video, and I think this will be my last tag video. So we're gonna get on with the metal tag now for 2024. The heavy metal tag 2024 is here, so let's do it. And question number 1 on the metal tag 2024 is: name a release you're eagerly anticipating in 2024. Well, I am on a music-free month in January. I decided I was not gonna purchase any new CDs, vinyl, nothing in January because I've got too much music. I need to slow down on my shopping in 2024. I really do need to cut back on my music shopping in 2024 and try to put my money to other things and just start saving a little bit more money. So this is a vinyl and CD free month for me, other than one thing that arrived 2 days ago, which I purchased in November. So it kind of doesn't count because I actually bought this in November and it arrived yesterday. It was a pre-order I put out. And I guess it will qualify as a release I'm eagerly anticipating in 2024. And that is this one right here. I was definitely eagerly anticipating this one when I pre-ordered it right on the artist's website in November. And they are Exit Eden and their brand new CD, Femme Fatales. Exit Eden's Femme Fatales. As you can see, I haven't even cracked it open yet. It literally arrived 2 days ago, and technically this album doesn't come out till tomorrow. That's right. It arrived early. The release date is tomorrow, Friday, January 19th. But like I said, the artist mailed this out to me, and I received it 2 days ago, a couple days before release day. And Exit Eden are a trio of women from various metal bands: Clementine Delancey from Visions of Atlantis, as well as Marina, who is from the band Phantom Elite, I think, if I remember right. It's Phantom Elite. And who am I missing here? Oh yes, Anna Brunier, who is from a League of Distortion. So 3 fantastic symphonic and metal vocalists getting together to make Exit Eden. Their first album, Rhapsodies in Black, was fantastic. They are covers albums where they take famous songs and cover them and give them a whole metal re-envisioning in metal. Some of the songs that they're doing on here, like for example, my favorite pop band of course is Pet Shop Boys, and there's a version of It's a Sin on here that I'm looking forward to hearing, as well as Alice Cooper's Poison is being covered on here. But it's a covers album, just like their first one, where these 3 ladies do metal covers and reimagining of famous songs. And so Exit Eden was one I was definitely looking forward to, and it's now arrived. Other than that, I have not really looked at what's coming out this year. I've been kind of avoiding looking at the new releases because I am trying to cool my jets as far as purchasing goes in 2024. If anything, if I were to name something else that's coming out, maybe the new Judas Priest that I believe is coming out in March, that might be one that I would definitely jump on, is the new Judas Priest. So that kind of covers that question more than enough, I think. And let's move on to question number 2. Chinese New Year 2024 is the year of the dragon. Show off an album either inspired by or containing dragons on the cover. I would have thought I had quite albums with that had dragons on the cover. Or or inspired by dragons, but I drew brain freeze on this one when I was going through my collection. But there was one album that does come under the heavy metal category that does have something to do with dragons, and that is Alice Cooper's Dragontown. That's right, Alice Cooper's Dragontown. And people are going to go, "What? He's hard rock. He's not metal." This is actually from Alice's metal years. Alice kind of went into a metal thing in the late 90s, early 2000s when he released Brutal Planet, which was definitely a heavy metal, industrial metal inspired album. And Dragontown was kind of the follow-up to Brutal Planet. So I think that's the closest I can come is Alice Cooper's Dragontown for the Year of the Dragon thing. This is definitely a heavy metal album from Alice Cooper. Dragontown. I think that maybe qualifies to answer the Dragon Chinese New Year question. On to question number 3. What was your favorite album that you acquired in 2023? This is a no-brainer. I showed this in my top 20 albums of 2023 countdown. This was my #1 album of the year. I spun this more than anything else. I spun this to death. I had the CD version. I spun it in the car. I spun it at home. I spun it everywhere. And that's Delane's Dark Waters. This was album of the year for me, period. #1 favorite album of 2023, Delane's Dark Waters, the brand new reformed Delane, because Delane broke up at the end of 2021, and he rebuilt the band in 2022 and re-released and released this new album right at the beginning of 2023. Delane Dark Waters with a brand new vocalist, Diana Lee, and she is fantastic. I love this album. This is a 10 out of 10. An absolutely spectacular album. I just fell in love with this album. I went to see Delane, as you can see, met the entire band, got to talk to the entire band. It was a very, very special night, as I've talked about in other videos. And as you can see, the entire band signed my copy of Dark Waters. So without question, Delane's Dark Waters, symphonic metal at its best, was my favorite album and metal album and any album of 2023. Hands down. Love that album. Next, that was question number 3. Question number, what was your favorite album you acquired in 2023? Question number 4, was there a title in 2023 that you were satisfied to purchase digitally, not on physical media, and why? Well, I don't believe in buying digital music. I am a hard copy guy. Cassette, CD, LP, 10-inch, 7-inch, whatever, hard copy. I support artists through hard copy music. That's because basically hard copy music is where artists make the most money. They don't make money from streaming services. They make very little revenue on digital as opposed to hard copy. I believe in supporting artists through hard copy music. But obviously there are artists out there that are only releasing digitally. But I don't subscribe to any streaming service. Like I said, I'm a hard copy guy, but I do keep my ear to the, ear to the grindstone, as they say, or whatever they say. And I do watch, I don't purchase music digitally, but I do watch, music on YouTube, of course. I discover a lot of new artists through YouTube because they're recommended to me by other metal artists and so on. But I did discover this band because this particular band, I knew I was going to go see because I was going to see another band. A friend of mine's in a band, a Chronicles of Rush tribute band. I was going to see him, and they were opening for a brand new band I'd never heard of. And I went to purchase the tickets for that show. And the ticket included a digital download of this brand new band's album. So I guess I did have a digital download first of that album, and it's brilliant. But at the show, they had just got the CDs in, so it is now available on CD. And of course, I've been talking about this band in the last few videos, and I did interview them on my channel back in December. You can see the interview with Visions of Morpheus, brand new progressive metal band out of Ontario, and their fantastic debut album, Lost Within. I can't speak higher of this brilliant album, but I did technically have this album as a download first, but a few days later they released the CD. So that's the closest I can even come to answering that question. But Visions of Morpheus, Lost Within, check these guys out. I am a big supporter of these guys. Fantastic band, such a polished, incredible metal album. And that's my metal, what was that? The digital metal question. Okay, question number 5. Show an album that musically doesn't match the cover art. I picked a couple that just on first glance I was like, well, maybe this one will do. And I'm going to start with this one. I picked 3 here just to cover this question as best I could, which, like I said, is show an album that musically doesn't match the cover art. Well, how about In This Moment's Black Widow album? In This Moment's Black Widow album. The cover art, the first thing you think when you're looking at that, you see this blonde on here, and if you didn't know who In This Moment are, and of course people that know who In This Moment are, that's Maria Brink, but people that maybe don't know who In This Moment are might think this is some sort of Lady Gaga kind of thing with the way she's looking here. This is something that you would see Lady Gaga wearing, who's far from being metal. So I don't know, maybe Black Widow by In This Moment, definitely, even though there is a song called Black Widow on here, and this is straight up heavy metal. So maybe Black Widow, she's kind of pulling off this kind of, I don't know, she definitely got the Black Widow vibe. Does this, I don't know. I'm just going to go, I'm going with that, okay? I'm going with that. It kind of has Lady Gaga vibes, just in the outfit. But another one, this one, I think when you first look at it, you would think this is maybe late 60s psych band, or maybe a country band or a folk band or whatever. It's Blackwater, Holy Light, and their Veils of Winter album. And of course these guys are doom metal, stoner rock. Blackwater, Holy Light, you see these ladies on here, these 5 ladies, and the kind of psychedelic font here. You wouldn't think this is kind of got doom metal or stoner rock. So maybe Blackwater, Holy Light's Veils of Winter. Or one more just for the hell of it. How about hair metal band from the 80s, Seduce? First of all, the name of the band, Seduce, you would not even think is a hair metal band. And the name of the album is Too Much Ain't Enough. And so would you think this is a hair metal band album cover? I don't think you would. I don't think you think this is a metal album cover in the least. It looks something more like a disco album than anything, with the name Seduce, and with this kind of naked girl thing here holding looks like a revolver sitting in a chair. I don't think you'd think this is a metal at all, but look at the back. This is definitely a heavy metal, hair metal, late 80s album, Seduce. So I think that one maybe it would definitely cover that question. Okay, question number 6. Who is the metal artist you own the most items by? Hands down. I got my hat on right here. I got a couple of big, huge Iron Maiden flags from concerts over there. I got Funkos back there. And I have more Iron Maiden in my collection, 30 plus titles in my collection of Iron Maiden. And I pulled one that I like to pull for these sort of questions, because this isn't one that you see people showing. People are always showing the Iron Maiden collection, but this is one that never ever gets shown. I've only I think seen one other person ever show this album in the vinyl community, and this is Iron Maiden's The Assassin. This is a bootleg, an unofficial album, a bootleg made up of singles, CD singles, 12-inch singles, maxi singles, all bootlegged together on this album. And this album is fantastic. It sounds incredible. Originally there were only 600 pressed, 150 on 4 different colors of vinyl, for a total of 600. But this is incredible because it's a collection of, you know, the B-sides and 12-inch mixes and rare live things that were all released, like I said, on 12-inch singles and so on. And there's a lot of covers on here. The pressing is great. It sounds really good. And there's some fantastic covers on here, as well as live versions and extended versions of their songs. But some of the covers are like All in Your Mind by Stray. And of course, my favorite band of all time, Golden Earring. There's a cover of Kill Me Ce Soir. So absolutely love the Golden Earring cover. There's a Free cover with I'm a Mover. There's a Led Zeppelin cover with Communication Breakdown. There's a Montrose cover with Space Station. So always happy to show this super rare covers bootleg thing. This is just a great, any Iron Maiden collector should try to find a copy of this. It's just a great little compliment to any Iron Maiden collection. Iron Maiden's The Assassin. So yeah, Iron Maiden I have more, because Iron Maiden are my favorite metal band of all time. So I definitely have more Iron Maiden than anything else. And that was question number 6. Question number 7, show an album that you blind bought in 2023. I blind buy albums like crazy all the time. That's why I'm not buying anything in January. I buy too much because I'm a blind buy junkie. I've been doing it since I was a kid. I always blind buy albums. And I do have some blind buys here. The first is the band I discovered in September of 2023 when I went to see Delane. We just talked about Delane. I went to see them in concert. And I knew of this band, had never really listened to the band. I knew who this band was, never heard anything by them. They opened for Delane, and they were Visions of Atlantic's symphonic metal band, Visions of Atlantis, who I just mentioned. In their lead singer is in Exit Eden, the side project Exit Eden. So I actually bought this album at the concert. After Visions of Atlantis opened for Delane, I went to the merch stand and I bought this at the merch stand. So it's a very limited edition on a colored vinyl. Bought this album. I was so blown away by their performance. I blind bought their Pirates album, which is their latest studio album. I also bought their live album at the show as well. I bought a couple albums at their show. But of course I did know some of the songs that would be on this album because they performed them live. So it was a semi-blind buy because I did know some of the songs. But I was so blown away after I got home and spun this. I was so blown away by this album. I went back and bought a bunch of Visions of Atlantis albums, a couple on CD, and this one right here on vinyl. Total blind buys, Wanderers, and I absolutely love it, and I love everything I bought by Visions of Atlantis. And this was a total blind buy because they didn't play anything from this at the show I saw. So that was a total blind buy. And another blind buy was the brand I just showed you guys In This Moment. In This Moment's God Mode came out in December. This was a complete blind buy because I love In This Moment. So for me, I just buy, they release something new, I buy it. I don't need to hear anything from it, I just buy it. And I bought God Mode, which is absolutely fantastic. And that was a blind buy as well. So there's your blind buy question. We're going on to question number 8. Show a title that you own more than one format. More than one format. Well, I'm going to be going with this band right here on my t-shirt, Beast in Black. And this was my number 3 album, or I think it was number 3 in my top albums of 2021 list. And this is Beast in Black's Dark Connection, another band I went to see live in 2023, and they blew me away. What a freaking incredible show these guys put on. Beast in Black's Dark Connection. This is one of my all-time, probably top 10 favorite heavy metal albums, period, of my lifetime. I love this. You know, three years later, I still haven't got even the slightest bit tired of listening to this thing. Beast in Black, Dark Connection. I absolutely freaking love this album. It's so good. And it is so good that besides having it on vinyl, and this is the artist website exclusive version, a very, very limited edition. Besides having that version on vinyl, I also picked it up on CD. So I have the CD version of that album. And when I was at the Beast in Black concert in September, they had it on cassette tape at the show. So I actually grabbed the cassette tape version. So I've kind of covered all formats here with Beast in Black's Iron Connection. I love Iron Connection, Dark Connection. Dark Connection, I actually absolutely have all formats available of that album because I love it so much. So that was question number 8. Show a title that you own on more than one format. Cassette, CD, vinyl. Covered all bases there. And moving on to the next question. Question number 9. Bookworm. Show off a release conceptually inspired by literature. Well, I got a couple to show you guys here. And the first one is a lot of Iron Maiden. We're going back to Iron Maiden. A lot of Iron Maiden stuff is taken from literature. A lot of their songs and things are taken from literature. One of the best examples is Iron Maiden's Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. That's right. Iron Maiden's Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. This is taken from literature and inspired by literature. It is inspired by Orson Scott Card's Seventh Son book. That's right. It's directly taken from Orson Scott Card's Seventh Son book. So definitely inspired by literature is Iron Maiden, Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. And one more for the heck of it that you guys, I wonder how many people actually know this. It'd be interesting to see how many people actually know this. This is hard rock, but it's heavy metal to some people. But I got to put this one in there, even though it's not probably true metal. It's pretty darn close to being heavy metal. It's Rush and 2112. That's right, Rush 2012. This is, of course, the remastered, expanded remaster edition that came out quite a few years ago. Rush 2112. This is actually inspired by Ayn Rand's novel. That's right, Russian author Ayn Rand's novel called Anthem. That's right, which is what this is taken from. The title track 2112, the side A, is completely inspired. It's kind of a loose interpretation of Ayn Rand's novel Anthem. And coincidentally, Rush would, of course, create Anthem Records. That's right, Anthem Records. Get the connection? Ayn Rand's Anthem inspired 2112, and Anthem Records would become Rush's label that they would create. So I don't know how many people know that, but yes, Rush's 2112 was inspired by Ayn Rand's novel Anthem, which would, of course, become Anthem Records. So there you go. That's the Bookworm Show for release conceptually inspired by literature. And number 10, name a band that you would travel a considerable distance to see live in 2024. I don't think I would travel a considerable different distance to see any band live, mainly because of gas prices. Mainly because I don't want to make a 2 or 3 or 4 hour trek back after the concert in the middle of the night to drive home. If a band is within say an hour of me, I'll drive an hour. But I'm getting old, guys. I'm getting old. I'm a senior citizen now. I'm technically a senior citizen now. So I'm not going to be driving a long, long, long way to go see any concert. Even from some of my favorite bands, I don't think I would. And I certainly wouldn't go to another city because now you got to pay hotel and all your expenses. And I just ain't in that financial tax bracket to afford to go see a concert. And on top of the ridiculous ticket prices nowadays, spend on a hotel and food and accommodation and travel and everything to see them. And I'm certainly not going to drive for hours. Maybe when I was younger I would have done that, but in my old age it ain't happening. So that's question number 10. And I'm just going to take a short break while I prepare for questions numbers 11 through 20. We're going to move some stuff here to make room for the last stack of things. And I'll be right back after this. And we're back with questions 11 through 20 on the metaltag 2024. And question number 11 is Soured Grapes. Show a 2023 release that you enthusiastically purchased but eventually lost interest in. I guess this is the closest one I can think of. I didn't really buy anything in 2023 I don't like. But if anything was to come to mind, I'll look through everything that I bought in 2023. I just went on my Discogs and looked at the list. And there was nothing so far, especially in the metal category, that I don't like. But if I were to pick something, it would have to be... I loved this album, their last album, which was Dancing in Hell by Elaine. I loved their last album, Dancing in Hell. Just absolutely dug this album. But their brand new album that came out in 2023, We Shall Remain, hasn't vibed with me. And I enthusiastically purchased that based on their Dancing with Hell album. I enthusiastically probably purchased this, going, oh yeah, yeah, new Elaine, oh yeah, but it hasn't vibed with me. Now, granted, maybe I just haven't spun it enough. I've only spun it a few times. Maybe I should give it a second chance or third chance. But so far, it just hasn't vibed with me, and it kind of has just sort of sat there, not getting spun. And maybe I should take the time one day and give it another spin and decide if I really do like it or not. So I'm not going to completely strike it off the list, but certainly, as the question says, I lost interest in. I kind of lost interest in this one after a couple of spins, but maybe I just wasn't really listening good the day I spun it. So I definitely need to give this another listen and give it a second chance. Elaine, We Shall Remain. Question number 12. The Golden Child, name an artist that you feel can do no wrong. Well, I know there's a lot of people that don't like later Iron Maiden, that a lot of these Iron Maiden fans from way back, they're like, the 80s Iron Maiden was the best years. Everything after that is crap. The 2000s is crap. The 2010s is crap. I see a lot of Iron Maiden fans bash later Maiden. Well, I actually didn't even get into Iron Maiden until about 15 years or so ago. I got into them in the 2000s era. So, you know, I love the 80s stuff. I love the 2000 stuff, the 2010 stuff. Maybe there was a couple in the 90s that I don't care for, where they changed to some other singer than Bruce. I don't even know what his name was. But I heard those albums and I have no interest in even buying them, but though the rest of my Maiden library is complete. But yeah, I'm going to go with Iron Maiden. For me, they're the metal band that can do no wrong. They can continue to make brilliant music. Senjutsu was an absolute masterpiece as far as I'm concerned, no matter what anybody says. And a lot of people bash Book of Souls. A lot of Maiden fans bash Book of Souls. And honestly, Book of Souls is in my personal top 5 Maiden albums of all time. I love Book of Souls, even though it gets bashed so much by old school Iron Maiden fans. Well, some of us new school Iron Maiden fans, we love the newer stuff. I love Book of Souls. So I'm putting in Book of Souls and Iron Maiden as my band that can do no wrong. Because so far there hasn't been anything that Maiden has done that I don't like, other than maybe those 2 albums with the other vocalist. But probably at some point I'll get them just to fill in the holes in my collection. Question number 13. Overstayed their welcome. Name a band you wish would have quit when they were ahead. I don't know in the metal genre. These guys are hard rock bordering on heavy metal. Certainly their later sound is heavy metal, and they have had their metal sounding moments through their history. One of my favorite bands that I grew up with was Nazareth. Hard rock, Scottish rockers, Nazareth. Certainly some of their songs would definitely be like No Mean City, would be borderline heavy metal for sure. And when Dan McCafferty left as vocalist in the mid-2010s, Carl Sentence took over, and I liked their first outing. It wasn't bad, but the album that they released about a year ago, Surviving the Law, I even went so much to buy this off their website, and the exclusive colored vinyl came with a t-shirt, the whole 9 yards. I spun this once and was just like, no, quit, guys, quit. You know, Pete Agnew is the only original surviving member of the Nazareth band. He's the one that's keeping the band alive. And Carl Sentence is a great vocalist, but it just doesn't work in my opinion. Carl Sentence, nobody can beat Dan McCafferty. He had that voice that everybody knew as soon as you heard Dan. It was Nazareth. Carl Sentence, they're going for a more, I don't know, heavy metal. They're going for a metal sound with a metal singer, and I'm sorry, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. So you guys should have quit when Dan left the band. You should have quit. Though the first Carl Sentence album wasn't bad. This one, I'm sorry, it just doesn't fly with me. Sorry guys. Sorry. I only keep this in my library to keep my Nazareth collection complete. So yeah, overstayed welcome for sure. Question number 14. Show a band or release that you bought in 2023 as a direct result of watching someone's YouTube channel. Well, I haven't. I looked through my list of stuff I bought in 2023, and there's nothing I bought that somebody showed on a channel and I said, oh, I got to get that. Nothing. I don't watch a lot of vinyl community videos. I just don't get the time. I spend more time watching the vinyl community live streams than anything. So that's where I'm going to take this question, which, like I said, was show a band or a release that you bought in 2023 as a direct result of watching someone's YouTube channel. The YouTube channel I watch the most is Rachel's Ghost live stream, which she does 7 days a week. From in here where I live, it's 9 to noon a.m. 7 days a week, and it's a vinyl community a live stream, daily live stream. So if anything inspired me to buy anything, it was Rachel's Ghost, because I traveled to BC in 2023, British Columbia, and met up with Rachel's Ghost. I took a holiday with my daughter out in Vancouver and Victoria. We met up with Rachel out in Victoria, and we went crate digging together in Victoria at a record store, and I found this metal album here, this very, very rare metal album by Sorcery, and it's a very, very limited reissue. I think there's, how many were there? 262. This is number 160 out of 262 reissues of this very rare heavy metal band from the 70s called Sorcery and Till Death Do We Part. And so I found this crate digging with Rachel from Rachel's Ghost YouTube channel. So if I hadn't discovered Rachel's Ghost's YouTube channel and hadn't been visiting her live streams daily, and I do appear on Rachel's Ghost show as well, if I'd never met Rachel's Ghost, I would have never gone. When I went to BC, I would never have met up with her and never ended up at that record store and found this gem. So in a roundabout way, I found this freaking heavy metal gem through watching Rachel Ghost's channel, but not inspired by something she showed, but actually going crate digging with her. So there's that question answered. Question number 15. Show us an otherwise good album that ends up suffering from being too long. You know, I agonized over this for a little while, and I really couldn't think of anything. So I'm going to have to skip over question number 15, because I like long albums. I like where a band puts a lot of work into a nice long album, as opposed to short albums. It'd probably be easier for me to come up with some fantastic albums that are just too damn short, and I wish there was more. So that's question number 15. Question number 16, show your favorite band t-shirt. Well, I have a couple hundred t-shirts, easy. 200 to 300 t-shirts. I'm a t-shirt guy. All my life I've been a t-shirt guy. I buy t-shirts at every concert I go to. Plus I get t-shirts with albums I pre-order and whatnot. So for me to pick one band t-shirt that is my favorite band t-shirt, it's impossible. Totally impossible. So I'm just going to go with what I'm wearing today. And this is the first time I've actually got a chance to put this one on. I try to save the first time I get a new shirt for a video in my channel. So this is Beast in Black, and this is from the show I went to see, their Dark Connection tour, when I saw them in September of 2023. So it's also my fit check for the day. My fit check, of course, is my Iron Maiden hat from Legacy of the Beast Tour 2019, and my Beast in Black Dark Connection tour, North American tour shirt from when I went to see Beast in Black. So I'm just going to go with what I'm wearing today. There you go. Beast in Black Dark Connection tour shirt. I'm just going to go with that one because I could never pick. I've got hundreds of shirts. Question number 17. Share a band that has been around for at least 24 years. Well, I could have obviously said, you know, Iron Maiden, but I've already shown some Iron Maiden. So I'm going to go with symphonic metal band Within Temptation. That's right, Within Temptation. I love this band, Within Temptation, symphonic metal band Within Temptation. This is their debut album from 1996. Enter. So they have been around for 28 years as of this year. It will be their 28th year in the business. And just as coincidence, the keyboard player up until 2000, I think it was 7, with this band, would leave this band to form Delane. Just a little bit of trivia for you there. Yeah, the keyboard player originally Within Temptation would leave this band to form Delane by coincidence. So this is Enter, their debut album from 1996, and their brand new album from November of 2023, Bleed Out, which is fantastic and could be my favorite Within Temptation album. We will see. I'm digging this big time. This could end up being my favorite Within Temptation album. So still going strong 28 years later from 1996's Enter to 2023's Bleed Out Within Temptation. Question number 18. Share your favorite band mascot. Well, we know Iron Maiden's my favorite band. So, of course, you got to go with Eddie, man. Who's more iconic than Eddie? Let's be real here. Who's more iconic than Eddie from Iron Maiden? Of course, this is an Iron Maiden Funko, the Somewhere in Time Eddie. The Somewhere in Time Eddie. There's a whole bunch more Iron Maiden Funkos over there. So there you go. Share your favorite band mascot. You got to go with Eddie. Got to go with Eddie. Question number 19. Grab bag. Share a random pull from your collection. No peeking. Well, this is a Kallax, 8-bin Kallax right below me where I sit to film my videos. And the bottom row is my metal section. So I'm just going to reach straight down here and to the bin that is below me. And I'm going to pull out something. And it is... Oh, I got two things here. Well, I got two things. Two came with one. That's what I got. Black Sabbath debut and Sabotage. Sabotage is my favorite Black Sabbath album. Aussie era Black Sabbath album. Definitely hands down Sabotage. This is a limited edition purple remastered edition. So that's what I pulled. I actually accidentally pulled two things. So Black Sabbath got pulled when I reached down in my grab bag. And last but not least, 20. Show an album from a metal band that others may not consider metal. I know a lot of people do know that they're metal, but I think a lot of people think these guys are K-pop or J-pop or whatever. And certainly by the looks of these two covers, you would think that. But I'm going with, and I just showed these recently on another video. These are the two brand new live albums from Baby Metal. And certainly when you look at them, do you think of metal when you look at Baby Metal? I mean, the name is in there, Baby Metal. Certainly the name is metal. But you've got a couple, you got these three young Japanese girl singers here, and people think it's like J-pop or something. This is metal all the way, guys. This is metal all the way. Sure, it's got, J-pop style of singers or whatever. But the band, their band is killer, man. Their band is killer. And this is, like I said, these just came out in November. It is Baby Metal Black Night, which was followed by Baby Metal Clear Night. And these are this is just fantastic stuff. Great, great, great live albums from Baby Metal. But certainly, I think a lot of people do not realize how heavy metal Baby Metal really are. I think a lot of people think that they're some J-pop or artist or something, or K-pop artist. Well, they're not. They're metal all the way. Name even says it. Even though you wouldn't think first looking at it that they're metal. So show an album from a metal band that others may not consider metal. They are metal all the way, guys. Absolutely metal all the way. And when I went to see Baby Metal in September of 2023, they were with Deathlock. And there were a lot of Deathlock fans in the audience that were like, who the heck is Baby Metal? It was the perfect example. They were like, Baby Metal, what the heck is that? Because Baby Metal here in Toronto performed first, and then Deathlock, they would alternate headliners on their tour. So one night Deathlock would open and then Baby Metal, and vice versa. We got here in Toronto Baby Metal first, then Deathlock. And the Deathlock fans in the audience around me were like, what the hell is this Baby Metal stuff? And when Baby Metal came on the stage, they blew everybody away. And Deathlock fans next to me are like, yeah, these guys rock. So there you go. Baby Metal rocks. Check them out. They are fantastic. And that's it. 20 questions. There's the Metal Tag 2024. I hope you enjoyed my picks here in this tag. And I'll see you guys very, very soon in my next video. And as I always say, rock and roll.